This lease is actually ran August of 24 through July of 25, and I am assuming it is on a month-to-month continuation. The monthly rent is $1,663, and due to non-payment of rent, a notice to vacate was issued on October 8th of this year, asking that the tenant leave by November 9th. It is a 30-day notice, and it was sent via first-class mail. The past due rent is $11,875, which includes a May balance and the full monthly rent for June, July, August, September, October, November, and a prorated amount for December. And that amount again was $11,875. There is a certificate of last notice.
Is already heating up fast. We have a lease running nearly a full year, a large unpaid balance, and an official 30-day notice backed by documentation. What stands out here is the size of the rental debt. Nearly $12,000. That kind of number instantly raises questions. Was this mismanagement, misunderstanding, or neglect? And look at the tenant's response. She admits she has no credits or payments to show. Viewers, what would you think if you were the judge at this moment? Is this already leaning toward eviction? Or is there more behind this story?
An address and also a declaration regarding military service.
All right, Miss Fry,
Yes.
are there any payments that you've made or any credits that you believe you're entitled to?
No.
Okay. Is there anything that you wish to add to this case for me to consider?
No. This apartment complex has been through 1,000 managers and people just stepping in for the day, and hard to get a hold of anybody. People can't access the account. People can't make this adjustment. They were saying they weren't receiving the housing payment, but then another person said that they were. I just want out. So I just need a few days to get out, but I just want out of this lease. I want out of the complex. I just want to be done.
Are you saying that you receive government subsidies in this case?
I did have Section 8, and they were paying a portion. I can't tell you exactly the portion because every year, it changes based on your income. So I just recertified in August, and I believe it went up from 900 and something to like 1348, I believe it was, that it would have went into effect in September. But all of 2024, it should have been 9 something. They were charging me 1,600. Then they were saying they weren't getting the housing payment. So I went up there, had to get them a payout from housing. They said they've been direct depositing it. My account wasn't reflecting a payment from them or me. So then the manager said, Holly at the time, who's no longer there, then she was like, okay, well, let's not do anything until we get it adjusted, because if we've been charging you $600 over, then we owe you back. That never happened, because then she was terminated or left or whatever she did. Then someone else came in. She couldn't access the account. She couldn't touch it. It's just been a constant people of looking and saying that there's something in the account, but no one can do anything about the account. So then now another manager comes in. I go in to speak to her. She doesn't want to go over anything, doesn't want to listen to my story. I don't know this lady that's in here now, never met her. And so now I just want out. I just want to be done with it. I will pay that balance and make a little payment arrangement, but I want out of this complex. I want out of that whole relationship.
Ms. Hedrick, do you have any record of this being government subsidized, that there are any payments that are being made by pardon, the government?
No, Your Honor, I do not have any information as to that.
Well, that's incorrect. I've been on Section 8.
Hold on, Ms. Fry. Ms. Gutierrez, do you have a contract here where it shows that these rental payments are...
Right here, the courtroom shifts dramatically. The judge stops everything because something doesn't add up. The exact rental charge versus the government housing subsidy. When a judge who's been on the bench nearly a decade says this situation is unusual, that speaks volumes. The tenant insists Section 8 was paying much more, while the complex counters with drastically different numbers. This raises a powerful question. Was the tenant being overcharged due to internal management chaos? Or is the court uncovering a deeper oversight? Let us know in the comments. Who do you think is telling the truth?
being made by both the individual tenant as well as the government subsidy?
We do. Her ledger was fixed by the area manager.
Well, let's
Becca.
go back and let's start with how much is she responsible for of the 1663 and how much is the government subsidy? Because in all my time here on the JP bench, which is going on 9 years, I've never once had a situation where the government failed to pay their subsidy.
Okay, so can you hear me? So the tenant is responsible for 1,663 and housing is paying 125.
How much?
That's not correct.
Hold on, Ms. Fry. Ms. Gutierrez, tell me how much is the government responsible for?
1,600, I'm sorry, 125.
$125?
Yes.
All right. So what is the actual rent then? Because the rent is not the 1663, it's the total amount.
Just a moment, I'm sorry.
Because it now makes me wonder about the previous case because that rent was the exact same amount.
This has been the issue.
So I have in the system as the housing voucher is 125.
Okay.
That they're paying.
Ms. Hedrick, what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to reschedule this case, and I'm going to vacate the order I just put in for the case before, because is that also the same situation that there is a government subsidy on that one as well?
This moment is huge. The court is finally clarifying the exact rental structure across multiple months. We see different obligations for May through August compared to September through November. And here's what matters. Rent never changed, only the subsidy did. That means late fees and confusion may not erase the tenant's legal obligation. Still, there's empathy here. The apartment staff turnover, communication failure, and constant misinformation clearly damaged trust. Viewers, if your rent amount changed every few months and nobody explained why, would you fight the charges or walk away like she wants to?
Ms. Gutierrez?
Oh, it's only Ms. Fry.
Only Ms. Fry. So the other, Ms. Soto did not have a government subsidy?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And what about Mr. Ramirez Palacios? Did he have a government subsidy?
No,
Okay,
sir.
so just Ms. Fry only. It's just
Yes.
odd that it's the exact same rent amount, 1663.
No, sir, I do have my vouchers assignments from housing that show what my responsibility was for the year of 23 to 24, 24 to 25, and 25 to 26. I did
Okay,
not
well,
bring
hold
those
on.
with me
Hold on.
because
Hold on, Ms. Fry. What you're gonna need to do is you're gonna have to go sit down with Ms. Hedrick and or Ms. Gutierrez to go over those vouchers and where you're at right now on what the monthly is now, because it's gonna be taken into consider if it was a different amount, May, June, July, and then later in October it changed or whenever it changed.
correct.
We have to figure out all of those things. You all need to figure those things out. I need to know what is the full rent. Yes, Ms. Gutierrez.
I'm sorry. Her portion is 1249 and housing is paying 414.
414,
Yes, ma'am.
So you
and
said
her portion is what?
1249.
1249.
Her
And
portion is
414.
1249 and housing is paying 414, effective 9/1/2025.
So the total rent is 1663. That's what the total rent is. And then 414 is the government subsidy plus 1249 is her portion. And if we're talking about May to now, right? So it's So her prorated portion for December is 604.35, and we got May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So it's 7 months at 1249. No, it's not. It's September, October, November. It's 3 months at 1249. Is 3747. All right. And what was it in May? What was her portion versus the government subsidy?
Sorry, I'm trying to look over it. I'm sorry. So it went from 9/1/2024. Her portion was 1,009 and housing 654. And then we received another one effective 9/1/2025, portion 1249 for Ms. Fry and housing 414.
So she was still paying the 1663. Previously, she just was paying less herself, and then that changed. Is that correct?
She was paying less before.
Yeah, so the monthly rent was 1663. It's always been that, but her obligation and the government subsidy was different each time. Is that correct?
Correct.
So there's 4 months at 1,009. That comes out to 4,036 plus 3747 plus the 604.35. So that total amount is 8387.35. Is that correct, Ms. Hedrick?
I think your math is correct. Let me,
What I did was 604.35 is the prorated portion
yes.
for this month, for December.
Mm-hmm.
The 3747 is her portion at 1249 times 3 months.
Right.
The 4036 is her portion from May to August, which is 4 months. So that comes out to 8387.35.
And my notice here says 8468.04.
Right.
And I'm assuming that's got court fees or something in it.
Yeah, so what I see in the notice that I'm looking at right now, the 30-day notice, it says 8863.75. Right? Now, the numbers don't match up because there are late fees, there are potentially rental and utilities, there's potential, you know, like if you have storage unit, if you have valet service,
Right.
none of those fees are included, and also the full amount of December that I'm not included in today's number. So that's why there's going to be a difference.
Okay.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So are we in agreement then that the amount past due is $8,387.35?
Yes, Your Honor.
That is correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what I find then is that the monthly rent today is $1,663. That the tenant's portion of that is $1,249 and the government subsidy is $414. Now this is important because it has to be in the judgment with the exact numbers as of today. Okay. The past due balance prorated through today is $8,387.35. Okay. That is the amount of the judgment. That is not the amount of what is past due owed. Now, Ms. Fry, I hope you heard everything that I explained to the first individual on the phone on how you can file an appeal if you wish to do so, on what you need to do. You can go back and speak with Ms. Gutierrez to try and figure something out for that balance. But basically, you have between 1 and 2 weeks to get that done. Okay, I can't tell you exactly when, if they're filing the writ of possession, when they're gonna be there to
Mhm.
actually, execute it, okay?
Right.
But it's generally between 1 and 2 weeks is what you're gonna have. What that means is once the constable shows up at your home, they start taking things out of your apartment, they're not gonna secure it, they're just gonna put it on the sidewalk. If somebody walks by and takes it, then that's on you, that's not on them. It's not considered theft. You understand? Okay.
I have a question.
Yes,
If I
ma'am.
leave beforehand and I go in there and turn my keys in before they file this writ, am I in a position to do that?
You
Or do I
can
have
do
to
that.
wait for them to come?
No, you can do that, but the judgment is still gonna be there, right?
Right, right.
But yes, you can do that, absolutely. That's why I'm saying you have between 1 and 2 weeks to
Okay.
resolve whatever it is that you need to do.
And then do I set up a payment arrangement or however I go about paying this balance with them, or how do I go about doing
That's,
that?
that's between you and them,
That
yes,
would be me contacting them for that. Got it.
that's correct. Okay?
Sweet.
Anything
Perfect.
else from either side?
No,
No, Your Honor.
Good luck to you all. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. May I be excused?
What a case. After reviewing months of rent changes, subsidy adjustments, and miscommunication, the judge ruled that Miss Fry owes over $8,000 in unpaid rent and fees. The court made it clear, despite the confusion, the math and documents support the judgment. The tenant still has 1 to 2 weeks to leave or make arrangements, and she must handle the financial fallout. Cases like this highlight just how complicated subsidized housing and management turnover can be. If you found this breakdown as intense and eye-opening as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more shocking courtroom commentary videos.